Alright children, I have written right hand rule here for you to understand once again. If you curl fingers of right hand into a fist and stretch thumb at right angle such that current is given by the thumb, then magnetic field is given by curl fingers and vice versa. Meaning when thumb gives the current, then curl fingers will give the magnetic field. However, if the field becomes circular like this, if current carrying conductor becomes circular like this, then thumb cannot give the direction of current. The direction of current will be given by the what? Curl fingers, right? And then thumb will give the magnetic field. Opposite is true. When thumb is current, field is given by the curl fingers. And if current is given by the curl fingers, then field is given by the thumb, right? You are clear about this? When current is straight, magnetic field is given by fingers. It is circular. When current is circular, field is given by the right hand thumb. Clear? Now we are going to discuss magnetic field due to a circular loop. We said if current is given by the fingers, then field is given by the thumb. Actually, this is a modified form of right hand rule, which is called right hand palm rule, right? So let's say this. Imagine a current carrying a loop like this. This loop is placed vertical, and this is how the current is going. Alright, look at this. This is how the current is going, this way. Start from here, current is going in the anti-clockwise direction. It is circular, so I will put my thumb along the current. Yes, this is how I will put. You can see. So you can see that my thumb is directed perpendicular. If this is plane of the coil, yes, this plane of the coil, I can use this clock. This is like a plane. Can you see? This is the plane in which the coil has been placed. And the current is going from here to anti-clockwise. So thumb is what? Perpendicular to the plane, right? Meaning, once again, if the current is placed like this, the coil is vertical, you can see. Then this is how the magnetic field will be directed, perpendicularly outwards, right? Let's see once again here, vertical coil. My thumb is along the current. So magnetic field is given by my thumb, it is perpendicularly what? Outwards, right? So if I consider a vertical coil like this, right? Current is going like this. So magnetic field will be directed outwards. This will be my north pole. Thumb will be, direction of the thumb will be the what? Direction of the north pole, right? So it is pointing like this, outwards. Now, this is in fact a circular wire, so we can connect a battery here to show how the current is flowing. This is how the current is going. This is how the current is coming out. Same thing, right? Now you will see that near the ends here, the electric lines will be more concentrated. They will be more concentrated like this. They will form concentric circles like this. One like this, the other like this, other like this, right? This is how. As you move toward the center, then the lines will become more separated. And they will be, if we move toward the center, they will be parallel to the line passing through the center of the coil. Similarly, when I see here also the coils will be what? Forming, field lines will be forming concentric circles, and these will be the lines. As you move toward the center, then the lines are more separated. And here the lines are almost concentric. So this will be the field lines due to a circular wire. So this is due to vertical loop. Vertical loop. Suppose I consider a horizontal loop. For example, this is a horizontal loop. Okay, let's see like this. This is a horizontal loop carrying current like this. Clear? Look at this horizontal loop. It's carrying current in what direction? Anti-clockwise direction. Like this. Right? Starting from here, the current is going like this. I'll be using my right hand palm rule. My fingers will give the current. So you can see from knuckles all you have to see. You have to see direction from knuckles. So from knuckle you can see my fingers are going what? In the counterclockwise direction like this. So where is the thumb? Thumb is again perpendicularly outwards. So this will be north pole. This will be north pole. Right? And again like before, near the two ends you will get what? Concentric circles like this. Field lines will be given by concentric circles. Out here also you will be getting concentric circles. And as you move toward the center, the lines will be far separated. Like this they will be separated. And at the center they are almost like straight lines. Okay? And this will be direction, this will be the arrows. They will be going out of the north pole and they will be going into the south pole, right? Make sure you understand this concept, right? So here we have a horizontal coil. It is not necessary that we have to have only counterclockwise currents. We can also consider clockwise currents. Suppose I have a vertical coil with clockwise current, like this, a vertical coil, right? And the current here is going clockwise. So this will be the north pole, right? And this will be the field lines, right? And here there will be concentric circles. They will be forming concentric circles near the ends. Here also they will be splitting up. They will be far more separated. They are going out of the north pole. These will be the concentric field lines near the ends, meaning the magnetic field will be stronger at these points, right? Okay. So this is how the field lines will be directed. Similarly, I can consider a horizontal coil. Horizontal coil, right? Carrying clockwise current like this, right? So in this case, north pole will be directed where? Downwards. Near the end, the field lines will be concentric circles. Here also they will be forming concentric circles, and toward the center they will be far more separated from each other. Something like this, going out of the north pole and entering the south pole. Clear? So these are the directions due to a circular coil, right? So you should be fairly clear about the concept of direction due to magnetic field of circular coil. So we discuss all horizontal, vertical and differently placed circular coils carrying current in different directions. Okay, so practice it extensively. Alright children, we will understand what is solenoid. We understood that whenever we allow a current to pass through a wire, it produces a magnetic field, and therefore the wire starts acting as a magnet, right? So this is a good way to produce a magnet, because this magnet will be acting as a magnet only as long as the current is available. When the current is switched off, it will no longer be a magnet, right? So this kind of magnet is we call temporary magnets. We will be discussing. Now the best way to produce temporary magnet is to have a solenoid, right? So a solenoid is nothing but what? It is an arrangement consisting of a cylindrical frame. We will take a long cylindrical frame like this. Long cylindrical frame, right? And then we will wind up large number of wires on it. Imagine a situation in which we have wires like this. Large number of wires, we have a cylindrical frame. So what is a solenoid, children? A solenoid is an arrangement consisting of, here we connect a battery, a cylindrical frame with large number of wires wound on it. This is an ideal example of a solenoid. But again we have a toroidal solenoid also. We are talking about cylindrical solenoid. Generally when I will say solenoid, I will be referring to a cylindrical solenoid, something like this, or maybe something like this, having a long cylindrical frame with large number of wires. Either the wires will be wound from this side, from behind, or from the front. Okay, only two cases possible, either from behind or from the front. Clear? So a solenoid in an arrangement consisting of a long cylindrical frame, not necessarily that you have to use a solid. You can take cardboard and you can roll into a cylinder that will become frame, and you can wind up wires on it. You can take a dry bamboo casing and you can wind up wires. It is insulated frame, remember, not a conducting frame generally. So a solenoid has a cylindrical frame with copper wires wound on it. Clear? And now when a current will be allowed to flow, like in this case, the current will be like this. It will produce a magnetic field. Clear? I will produce a very strong magnetic field because very large number of wires have been wound on it. Clear? Now how will you determine direction of magnetic field with a solenoid? I want you to learn this carefully, and it's very easy. You see, we'll imagine that we are holding the solenoid in our right hand in such a way that my fingers are giving the direction of the current. Then thumb will give direction of the magnetic field. Okay, let's understand like this. You can see the current is coming from behind. I can imagine this frame, current is coming from this side, from behind. Clear? From this side the current is coming, you can see from behind, this way, right? It will be what? Counterclockwise. Now here I'll hold this solenoid in my hand. I'm imagining, you see the current is coming counterclockwise now, like this. Current is coming from behind. I cannot hold like this. I'll be holding like this. Clear? If I hold like this, you can see my thumb is pointing what? My thumb is pointing in this direction. Yes? Can you see this? Like this, if I hold, then my thumb is pointing in this direction. That means this will be acting as north pole. They will be acting as what pole? North pole. And if this will be acting as north pole, then obviously this will become what pole? South pole. Clear? Very easy to determine the direction of magnetic field with a solenoid. Right? Now suppose another situation I have, in which I'll make it a little short. Suppose I have another solenoid out here. I have another solenoid out here, in which I have current going from the front like this. This is how the current is going. So this current is going from the front like this. It's going like this. Okay? So if I'm doing, you can see this current is going like this from the front. So thumb is pointed towards what? This side, my left hand side. So this will become the north pole. Clear? So we can easily determine direction of magnetic field to the solenoid by using modified right hand rule. We just have to hold the solenoid in our hand such that direction of current is given by the fingers, then thumb will give direction of the magnetic field, right? Now what will be the sense of magnetic field lines due to a solenoid? Remember, it's quite interesting. Magnetic field lines here in this case are coming out of the north pole. They will always come out of the north pole. Magnetic field lines inside will be, at the center will be straight lines like this. If I consider another line here, this will also be almost straight. This will be more curved. Yes, this will be more curved. Now these lines will be more and more curved, right? This will be more curved. And then here I can have smaller loops. Here I can have smaller loops, and these will be forming when bigger loop this side, then a bigger loop this side, right? So you can see that field lines will be straight at the center, and then bending as you move away from the center. This is the axis of the solenoid. Now if I go this one toward this side, and remember the field lines will be coming out of the north pole like before, and they will be entering the south pole, and there will be smooth lines, right? There will be no break. Out here, this is north pole, and this is south pole. Clear? So field lines at the center will be what? Straight. This will be also almost straight, but the line will bend. Will not touch. This is how the lines will bend. This is how the lines will bend. Yes. We can see these will be forming smaller loops, and these are also forming loops, but much bigger loops, right? These lines coming out of north pole and entering into the south pole, right? So this is magnetic field due to a solenoid, and we also saw the field lines. Always bear in mind that field lines at the center will be straight, and they will be bending as you move away from the center, right? As you move away from the axis of the cylinder, they will be bending more and more. And here you can see this loops are what? Smaller. I can have a smaller loop out here, north pole, going out to north pole and coming into the south pole. Yes, I can have yet another smaller loop out here, going out to north pole and coming into the south pole, right? Now the advantage of using a solenoid is it is a very important tool which is used as a temporary magnet. Clear? Now it is also used for magnetization. Suppose I have a piece of iron in my hand and I want to magnetize it. What I will do is I will keep this piece of iron inside here. I will keep this piece of iron here. When I allow the current to flow, this piece of iron will become a magnet. So solenoids have extensive applications in producing magnetic properties, right? So we saw direction of magnetic field to a solenoid. Okay. Alright children, we will be discussing what is the electromagnet now. So children, we have two types of magnets which I have studied in lab. One type is a permanent bar magnet you have seen, right? Now this magnet is a temporary magnet, is made up of lodestone and other magnetic materials, right? Now this is a permanent magnet, we cannot change it. Once you buy a magnet, you have to keep magnetic keepers at home and you use it whenever you want. But the magnet will always be a magnet, right? Now this is permanent magnet or natural magnet. Now the other magnet is called electromagnet, which we discussed actually. We said just now, then when current passes through a coil, it starts acting as a magnet. Clear? Now the other magnet is electromagnet, which is a temporary magnet. Temporary magnet. So what is a temporary magnet? Children, temporary magnet is a magnet which is based on magnetic effect of currents. When current is allowed to pass through a wire, it starts acting as a magnet. A magnet which is based on this effect, magnetic effect of current, is called temporary magnet or electromagnet. The best example of electromagnet is a solenoid. Like I told you, let's see once again. This is a solenoid. Now I need to send current through it, right? So this current is coming from behind. This is how the current is coming. Suppose this is how the current is coming. Yes, current is coming from behind. If I use again right hand rule, children, current coming from behind, I am holding like this. So this side will be the north pole. Yes, this is how the magnetic lines force will be coming out. And then this will be the field lines. Once again we will draw these field lines. Now these will field lines down below. Right? This is how they are coming out. This is how they are going inside. The interesting thing about this arrangement is when I switch off the current, it loses its magnetic property. Clear? So such a magnet is called what? Electromagnet. The advantage of electromagnet is that we can switch it off and on whenever we don't require. When we don't require, it is off. When we require, it is on. Very easy. So we can save power, we can save energy. Second thing is, then in case of permanent magnet, I can't make it strong and weak. You have been given a magnet, it will remain equally strong all the time. Over a long period of time, slowly it will lose its magnetic property also, but over a short period of time, it will remain the same, right? But in this case, if I require a strong magnetic field, I can make it what? Strong also. If I need a weaker magnetic field, I can make it weak also. How? By changing the current. If I make current stronger, then it produces stronger magnetic field and the electromagnet will become a stronger magnet. If I reduce current, then I can make it a weaker electromagnet. But suppose I can't change the current, then how can I make it strong and weak? By changing number of turns. If I put more turns, it will become a strong magnet. If I put less turns, it will become what? A weak magnet. Okay. So what is the electromagnet or temporary magnet? A magnet which works on magnetic effect of current is called electromagnet. Okay. And children, best example of electromagnet is solenoid. For example, solenoid. Clear? Now there are certain properties of electromagnets which you have to know. Properties. Number one, it can be switched on and off. Switched on and off. When you don't need it, switch off the current, it will become a what? It will lose its magnetic property. If you need magnet, switch on the current, it will regain its magnetic property, right? Number three, its strength can be increased or decreased. Its strength can be increased or decreased. Now, if a permanent magnet, it is fixed north pole and it is what? Fixed south pole. Like in this case, I said this is north pole and this is south pole. But if I change direction of current, I can reverse it. If I change the direction of current, if the current here is coming from behind, if it goes from the front like this, clockwise, then this will come south and this will become north. This is a very special property. I can change the polarity. This is what you are writing. Number three, its polarity can be changed. Its polarity can be changed by changing direction of current. In fact, this is a very versatile magnet and it has tremendous applications in industry. You see huge iron objects being unloaded or loaded into ships. It is not done manually. It is done by using cranes which are based on electromagnets. So electromagnets have tremendous applications in industry. And remember, strength of magnetic field of electromagnet can be increased. Magnetic field of electromagnet can be increased by number one, increasing current. So we say B is directly proportional to I, means if current is more, magnetic field is more. Number three, by increasing number of turns, means if you put more turns, the magnetic field will be stronger. By increasing number of turns, and we say this is B directly proportional to N. And then we have third, by decreasing distance. Okay. So these are 3 points. Now the other points, by inserting a soft iron core, meaning here you have the frame of the solenoid, right? Inside you place a soft iron. Okay, this is soft iron core. Soft iron has a property of capturing magnetic lines of force, and therefore it can increase the magnetic field, right? Or you can use another situation also can be used. I can use a core directly which is made up of soft iron, and then I can wind the wires on it. Yes. So these are ways in which I can increase the magnetic field of an electromagnet. Okay, thank you.